Hold on, let me see. Pick down there. Yes. You either want to do that, or we just put it on. We're going to agree. I think we're one to do. I think that's great.
Yeah, wait, what? Well, I mean, jump in.
No, I guess jumping. And you can hit it on the inside.
You swear, I'm swearing.
The last one was good. Do you want to hang her? Good Lord. Yeah.
No, same exact part. Same exact part.
You would want to put your card in. We stay on the center.
Okay, cool.
Yes, maybe a little.
No, you draw one card.
Okay, cool.
I am, in fact, blue. That's me. I'm a blue guy. Blue kind of guy. I'm a sleepy blue guy. What's going on?
So, this Dan is now delivering the stone. He's yellow, and he's going for some sort of take, probably.
Yeah, it seems like a take. He's a little bit out, says Scott. And it runs back one of them, and they are in a very similar position to where they just were 2 stones ago, as it turns out. Everything has just moved up 1 stone length.
Now, do you think that Meg and Nick are just going to go for the same shot that they just did?
I think that would be silly. I think they should put a center guard. But knowing Nick and Meg, they might go for a crazy take and just make it, so...
They could miss it, though, and then just, like, help out the other team. But it's hard to read their lips. It's hard to know what's happening. They're still talking.
Yeah, they're still talking. It's... Yeah, so we've got 1 redstone lying just behind the button, 1 on top of the 4-foot. We've got 1 redstone at the edge of the 8-foot to the right by just a few feet, and then 1 yellow stone at the top of the house on the center line. So it's like a bee. It looks like half an arrow. Like if you're in chemistry, as I am, the movement of a single electron is sort of what this looks like, if you were to signify that. Oh, they're throwing. I can't tell the weight.
He's sweeping. I think he's trying to hold some sort of line. I really have no idea what shot. What just happened?
Yeah, it's very light. It looked as though it was going to be a takeout, but it is, in fact, going to sit back house. Yeah, I think the weight was...
Guard?
I don't think they were going for a guard. I don't know. Let's continue watching.
Okay. So now, is it hammer shot now? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're not at hammer shot quite yet. Seems, yeah, Nick has hammer, so yellow gets to throw their last stone now. What they're planning is a mystery. Draw would be make the most sense, I think.
I think they're going for a triple run back.
How would that be useful? For their last shot.
Get red stones out of the house, and they'd have one yellow buried if they did it right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. If they just try to outcount, then Nick could just take out, so I guess.
Yeah. They're going out, and it does. It is, in fact, takeout speed. Looks a little narrow as they got on the sweep immediately.
It was released like right on the Yellowstone, so they did not have any time at all. Oh.
Just ticks the red, and the yellow spills, and I think the red went far enough back so it's not counting anymore. So they could draw for 3 with the hammer shot, or draw for 4, excuse me. Maddie's leaving now.
I'm playing Uno.
Uno has started in the warm room. But I will stay my post. I would assume they're just going for a draw because the takeout is very risky, but you get an extra point if you do that. So they're going out. It is, in fact, a draw with Meg's on the sweep now. Off the sweep, on the sweep. Off the sweep. Has a bit of momentum, but it's going to stay. Yeah, that's 4 for red. So that puts them up 1 point at the end of the 5th end. I don't know if I'm responsible for the other other game as well. I have not been paying attention. So that might be a problem. Oh yeah, I guess the live stream is both sheets. The other side is a blowout. Yellow has 10 points and red has 3. Red is sitting 1 right now. And that's on sheet 2. Nick's doing a little tappy tap on the front guard. He's looking back on it. He might not be sure. Oh, he's sure. He's going. Somebody is in the hack, and I think it might be Nick. Yes, there he goes. Thank goodness he figured that out. I was getting concerned for him. Nick's in the hack now. He's going to draw down to the yellow. It's in the house. Looks like it has quite a bit. A few too many beans, we would say, in juniors. It's coming down quick, and they might get a tick. Yep, stays right in the 4-foot, parallel to the Yellowstone that was placed at the beginning of the end. Meg's looking at me now, and I'm talking about her, so she can't hear me, though, and I can't hear her. Maybe if I do it like this, she'll be able to figure out what the heck I'm saying. She's mouthing something. I really can't hear it. What's up, Nick? All right, Monica's in the hack and delivering. Trying to draw down into this pocket. It also has quite a few beans. And it's going to tick. Oh, did not tick. And it goes through the house. So I believe right now that yellow is sitting 1, and that red is the second counting stone. But there's quite a bit of inspection going on the ice. But those 2 stones will definitely move by the end of this end. So. All right, quick update on the Uno. They seem to be, they are quite loud. Madison seems to have quite a few blues, from what I can tell, along with a draw 4 card. She also has 1 red. She's the only hand that I can see. Scott has a good mix of cards with 2 wilds, which will be useful in the end game if he chooses to hold them. I'll check back in on them in a second. Megan's delivering now again. Quick on the sweep as it was narrow. Does seem to have a bit of weight, so we'll see where this one ends up. All right, and they draw it right down into the pocket. Sitting on top of the yellow. The button is still exposed, so the draw down on the right side is available. But taking out that red stone is impossible without losing the yellow as well. Nick's looking at me again. We're having a staring contest now. I think I'm going to win. Don't laugh, Nick. Don't laugh. This isn't funny. Oh, he broke first. I win. Dan's going down to get his shot ready now. I think they're drawing down the left side, following to hopefully sit on the button with backing to secure themselves 1 point at least for the end. A little bit narrow. He might crash on the guard. Oh, but he's able to hold it.
He just wants to tap that so that yellow separates. But I don't know if he's heavy enough.
All right.
Probably shot now, but
I think red's still shot. Yeah. It's hard to tell from here, but we think red might still be shot, even though it's sandwiched between a couple yellows. I think it is shot. And the mess within the 4-foot grows on this end. Red is shot by Scott's word. So Meg's got a few options here. She can either guard it up. She can try to draw down to the button. I'm not sure why they aren't utilizing the right side as much as they are. Oh, there goes Meg down the right side. Probably going to try to draw, and if they're light, they can leave it high as a guard. Looks like it might have enough to come all the way down. Nick's pushing it in. They squeak by that guard. Does not have quite enough to get all the way down, though.
they forgot to set the clock.
Uno is picking up once again. Somebody went out of turn, which usually means you draw a couple cards, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we finished up on sheet 2. They shook after 7 ends. It seems as though it was a mathematical impossibility for red to win, so they called the game.
Looking at it, so it's got to be close.
Yep. Which, all right. All right, so yellow is shot stone by, yeah, and then the red stone is second. All right, Dan's getting his next shot ready. This will be his second. And it seems he's going to try to draw down the right side as Meg did in her last shot. Coming out, seems a little bit wide. He's on the sweep now. Coming over quick, and it's going to sit at the top of the forefoot on the outside, which makes that draw for red a little bit more difficult. They could try a hit and roll off of that yellow now. Oh, no, I guess Nick was in the way a little bit. It's closer than I thought. My aptitude as a commentator has been questioned. They're coming off the ice now from sheet 2. So the timer was not started in time. They would definitely be getting close because this has not been an especially quick game on sheet 1. Nick's looking at that hit and roll that I was talking about before. Even if it's a hit and stick, it's not all that bad. But what you don't really want to do is to run the yellow back into the other yellow that's at the bottom of the forefoot, because then Dan could use his shot to bump 2 red, the second counting stone, out of the forefoot by hitting his own stone. And then they would be counting 2, if not 3. So I don't know if the camera can really see the house, but just to give you an idea, if you imagine a whole mess of stones all within the 4-foot or the 8-foot, yeah, that's how it's looking right now. So coming with a bit of weight, a little bit wide for what they're looking for. Nick might want to sweep it so it flashes, but he's not going to. It's going to tick the yellow and knock it into the number 1 spot. And it did hit the previous number 1 spot a little bit out, so I do think that red is now counting number 2 still. So right now yellow is sitting 1 handily with their stone firmly on the button with a lot of backing. She threw the right rock. They ticked off from the yellow that was in the 8-foot.
I was looking up at the screen and
so Dan's getting ready to throw his last shot now before it switches over. In mixed doubles, the order of throwing the stones for a single team is the first thrower throws 1 stone, the second person on the team will throw 3 stones, and then it will return to the first thrower to throw the last stone for 5 stones thrown per team, with hammer being the last shot of an end. Coming with a bit of weight, I think he's trying to move things around in the 4-foot to expose the red so that with the hammer shot they can take it out, and he does a good job. So right now Right now, there's the possibility of Monica on the yellow team to just pop the red out and be sitting 3 for this end. So right now, Nick's looking at some sort of hit when the call is probably just putting a guard to make sure that they can't move your 2 stone. I think Nick might try to do their shot for them, which would be interesting.
And you lost? Alright, let me... Thundercat won, right? Thundercat won, yeah, 4. That was the event.
Going back to Uno, it seems that the game has paused. Players may have left for bathroom breaks or to collect some snacks, but they are returning now and heating up once again. Nick's throwing his stone now. Looks like it might just be the guard. Oh, it's got quite a bit of heat, and it is wide. Yeah, he's just trying to throw it into his pocket here. Pops the red out. Yellow is now sitting 2. Oh, and that was Hammerstone. Or was it? Nope, Hammerstone still needs to be thrown. Excuse me. Yep, so yellow's going to throw a hammer. They just need to get a good bite of the 4-foot in order to score 3 for this end. Scott has something to say about something on his computer. I think he's frustrated. He's stroking his chin like he's frustrated. Oh, now he's flipping me off, but that's all right. I don't take it personally. I'm an unbiased commentator.
So, you guys won, right?
Hello, Nick. We're staring once again. This is our usual thing, I guess, now, for when he's on this end. And I'm commentating. Monica throws her stone. It's got... Dan's quick on the sweep. It looks like it has enough, but it needs to curl over. Yeah, it's... Yep, so that's 3 yellow for that end. So that puts yellow up 2, going into the 7th end, where red now has hammer. Got a big thumbs up from Meg, so that's good. Now they're going to go down to the other end to set up the stones. Yellow will be in the guard position, and red will be in the house at the bottom of the 4-foot to start this end. 2 stones are pre-placed. I believe both teams have already used their power play. To be honest, I haven't been paying very close attention. Meg's looking at me again. Oh. All right, Nick does a little tap, tap, tap into place. Now Monica's going to make the draw into the 4-foot on top of the red. Una is once again resumed, and swears are flying. All right, Monica's shot. Dan is quick to sweep it, so it might stay high. It's a little bit on the outside, so I think it will be exposed in the house. Not quite buried. Dan's up on the sweep now, and it's past the tee line, past the 8-foot, and resting at the back of the house, just touching the edge of the 12-foot ring. This is a good spot for Nick and Meg now to make this shot and have 2 stones placed in the 4-foot. So that hopefully they can get a big end leading up to the final end. Nick's in the hack. And he's going to draw down the right side. Again, looking a little bit wide. I don't know how the ice behaves out here, but Meg hasn't. Oh, Meg's on the sweep now. And off the sweep. I think it might rest top house looking from here. Yep, Meg's on the sweep now. And it is not biting, I don't think, but it's resting on my right side, just on the sweep line. Dan's shot now, going for the draw on the left side. It's on the sweep now, lightening it up. Gets by the top guard with about 6 inches and quite a bit of steam rolling into it. It's going to rest in the 4-foot. It bumped the placed red stone back about a foot. The yellow stone in the house in the 4-foot is exposed now, and Meg and Nick can now take out. So I think the shot is to hit and roll on top of this red stone that's at the back of the 4-foot now. Uno is heating up. An infraction of some sort. Table slamming. That's never a good thing. All right, Meg's in the hack now. Going down the right side. I think they're going for a draw. It's a little bit wide, hanging out there. It has quite a bit of weight, so it might have been a takeout. Yep, so it pops it back. All right, so now we have 2 red stones in the 4-foot, one of them off to the left and one of them in the back, and 1 yellow stone in the back of the house at about 10 feet. The red closest to the button is the counting stone, and it is exposed on the left side, not behind a guard. The shot here is probably a takeout, if not a draw into the button. All right, it's going down, just passing the hog line now. Quite a bit of weight. And it pops the red that was exposed back on top, or back to the back of the house. So yellow is now counting 1.
No, I think is that stone in the back in the house, the one that got taken out? Yeah, but it was the last stone thrown that took some out? I think they're good because there's 6 stones in play.
So in doubles, there's free stone rule where the first stones can only be taken out by the team with hammer. Their second stone can take out. So it appears that Meg took out stone before she was allowed to. That's what we're discussing right now in the warm room. Oh, but red does have hammer, so Meg was fine to take out that stone, her last one. Meg just did a takeout, hit and stick. So we now have a red stone in the top of the 4 foot on the left side, a stone just behind the 4 foot, a red stone just behind the 4 foot, and then a red and yellow stone at the back of the house. We have 1 yellow guard center line and 1 red guard to the right of the right sweep line. Right now, red is sitting 3 with 1 yellow stone in the house. Dan's going for a takeout here. Possibly a double if he hits this one just right. It's a little wide. It's coming down now, coming across. All right, so he hits and rolls behind the center guard, sits at the top of the 4 foot, well covered. I don't think that Nick and Meg can get to it as it is right now. So right now, yellow is counting 1. Meg might be able to catch the left edge of the stone and peel it out. All right, so Meg's in the hack now. Sliding out with a bit of gumption. I think they're going for that takeout, but it's staying wide. Might be able to just catch it. Oh, flashes. Goes to the back of the house. Taps out the red that was sitting back there. So now we have 1 yellow at the top of the 4 foot, guarded by the center line guard. 1 red at the back of the 4 foot, and 2 stones at the edge of the 8 foot on the left side. 2 red stones, along with 1 yellow stone at the back of the house. Nick and Meg do have quite a few stones in the house, so if they can get to this yellow stone, they'll be looking good. This is the last shot for Dan and Monica for this end. Coming out, it looks kind of hot. Oh, coming down now as it curls over. Maybe trying to draw to the 4 foot. They bring it behind, and it freezes in the back. Well, not quite a freeze, excuse me. So it's sat in the 8 foot ring, out counting 2 of the red stones. So it looks like Nick and Meg are going to go for a draw into the 4 foot for 1 point. Sort of their last option. Doesn't seem to be a way to get to both of the yellow stones within the 8 foot ring, so the other option would be to give up 1 and hope that next end you can get 3 or 4 with the hammer. There is some backing for this draw on the left side, but none close enough to outcount the Yellowstone to use exclusively. Nick and Meg are discussing once again. I think someone may have won Uno. Yep, they're collecting cards. And they're going to give them back out. Nick's in the hack now, getting ready to throw. I would assume the draw to the 4-foot. And I would assume wrong. Comes out with quite a bit. A little bit wide for what he's looking for. And it seems they will give up 1 for this end. Yep, stuffs it into the back.
He's been heavy and wide all weekend. Heavy and wide all weekend on those shots.
I managed to figure 1 shot out each match.
He's not playing enough.
All right, so going into the last end, Nick and Meg have the hammer. They're down by 3 right now. Nick and Meg are at 7 points, while Dan and Monica are at 10. Monica's going to make the first shot at the end. Just as soon as Nick gets his stone into place. I'm going to talk about Nick again, so he thinks I'm like making fun of him or something. But really, I really don't have much to say about him. He has a cool beard, but that's about it. Oh, he waved to me. I'm going to wave back. Hi, Nick. Monica delivers. Trying to go for a draw. Dan is hard on the sweep right now. Lightweight, it's going to sit. It's going to sit at the top of the 4-foot. Just to the left of the center line. Not a bad shot. Nick will probably make the draw down the right side now onto the button. Right now, Nick and Meg should really try to be getting stones into the 4-foot in front of the tee line. Try to rack up those points with the hammer this end. Using guards where they can, and of course those free stones. Nick slides out a little bit narrow, but corrects with his hand. Seems a little bit up. Meg has not swept it yet. It's going to cut soon. It's curling over now. Might click the edge of the guard. Yep, and it does just that. Something happened in Uno. I think they had a couple +2s go round the table. Nick's shot opens up the guards. So we've got a red guard on the right sweep line in zone 2, and a yellow between the sweep and center line, parallel to it. Yellow stone at the top of the 4-foot, and the red placed stone at the back of the 4-foot. Dan delivers the stone now. Swept it a little bit there. I think he's trying to leave a guard in that port so that their stone is protected, but the port's still there down the center line. If Meg is feeling up to it, they could definitely hit and roll off of this yellow and sit and get rid of the yellow and sit on the center line in the 8-foot ring. Somebody's at Uno. Nick's on the sweep now after Meg delivers that takeout. Oh, it's cutting now. Cutting over. He might be able to get by it. And crashes on the yellow. Moves both of those guards off to the side. Left one hits the wall. The right one sits about 10 foot off the center line. Or excuse me, about 5 feet off the center line. Dan's probably going to go for a promote of his yellow now onto the button. Using his stone to tap his stone back just a few feet. If he leaves a guard, that's not very bad either, so. All right, shot's coming down. Dan's sweeping it. A little bit slower than I think he was looking for, so he's going to leave it as a guard. That may have been the call to begin with. I didn't quite see what they were talking about. Right now, red is sitting 1, and yellow has 1 stone in the house. Leaves a guard between the sweep and center line in zone 2. So Nick and Meg have a few options here regarding their promotes of the 2 guards that they have. We'll see what Meg goes for here. Slides out. That is peel weight. Nick's quick on the sweep. I think they're trying to peel off that yellow guard that was just placed. Peels off the yellow guard, but jams on the red guard that was next to it, so yellow is still covered as far as I can tell. Maybe a little sliver is available on the right side. The port's opened up now for a draw down to the button. Dan might be trying to either cover up something as a guard. I think he's trying to replace the guard that was just lost. Cleans his stone off. Uno is finished. The players have disbanded. Cards strewn about the table. I don't think it ended well. All right, Dan's delivering now. Looks about the same weight as before. He's on the sweep now. Might be trying for a draw. No, gonna tap the red center guard over just a little bit and sits so that the yellow at the top of the 4 foot is now well protected. Nick and Meg do need 3 points to tie, so they have 2 stones remaining. I think the draw through the port might be their best option if they don't try to take out via promote of some sort. Not an easy shot, of course. Either the promote or the draw through the port. Oh, coming out with a bit of weight. I think they're going for a promote back into the yellow. It's got to move over. All right. Yep, so splits them over. Splits 2 red stones out. 2 of those red guards. The shooter and the red guard that was on the center line. Yep, so Monica's going to replace the guard that they just lost now for their last shot. Nick and Meg need a way to promote 2 stones up into the house, into the 4-foot. Probably unlikely at this point. Scott is having a heated discussion about nachos and burritos. Nick is not staring at me this time, I'd like to mention. Over the stone, Dan's quick on the sweep. Seems a little down. I think it'll get up over the hog line. Oh, maybe not. All right. So drag it over the hog line. It's in a good position where they can't make the draw. Need some way to get 2 stones in, and I'm not seeing it. Nick's looking at the double promote of those reds that are stacked on top of each other, but that will probably just run back through the house. I don't see a way to hit those just right, considering they're so close together. I'm not sure how sensitive the mic is when it comes to people in the background talking, but if you hear a shrill, high voice, that would be Scott talking about nachos, burritos, or something of the sort. Food, I think, is his main prerogative right now. Going for the draw through the port. It's gonna hit the red and roll over the red guard. That makes it 1 red, so down 2, and that's the end of the game. Fist bumps all around. Good curlings and good games as they clean up the stones.
Being an adult. Oh, yeah. My road is still